the elevator hits the floor, you notice no buttons were pushed or anything. The elevator just took off automatically. When the door opens up, it's on a lower level than you expected. There's obviously a parking garage under the Evo building.
Uh-oh.
Oh, good.
And there are two more security officers, fairly, identically dressed to the ones that have already flanking you, waiting for you at the bottom. As the doors open, they're just standing there, and as you and DeVry and the other two exit, they basically take up positions ahead of you. So you've got two behind you, two in front of you, and you and DeVry are in the box. So let's see.
Are you expecting trouble, Mr. Fry?
She looks at you again with a smile and says, "Not particularly, no."
Well, I
He's,
certainly feel very safe. What with all of
as you
these
should.
guards.
As you should. I can assure you there is absolutely no threat towards you. I'm just sort of setting up our little posse here. All right. So as you guys hustle towards the parking garage, Kirsten suddenly abruptly stops, and she's looking at her comm, and she looks back at Boxer, and she says, look at the location marker. It hasn't moved from the building."
That can't be right. In the time they've had... God, give me the update. What's going on in there? Actually, get your friend to give us an update. Can she?
Cecile, you get a text from Kirsten. "What's going on? We're expecting you. We're waiting for you in the parking garage."
They took there's a hidden elevator to some kind of underground garage. I'm surrounded by guards. I can't leave.
Kirsten looks over at Boxer. "Frag, they've got her in a garage I didn't know about underneath of the Evo building." She says security's really tight.
Fuck. Should I have said frag? Anyway. Alright. Unanticipated variables. This is fine. How do we get down there?
"Do you have any other friends that we can call?"
Hmm.
"I don't know." She looks worried.
Allow me to use my cat magic. Words. No, I have no one for this.
Kirsten
Alright.
looks a little. She sort of straightens up and she looks at you and says, You guys don't need to help me with this. This is way more than I expected it to be. This is going to be dangerous. If you guys don't want to be part of this at this point, I don't blame you one bit."
Madam, I do not carry these for no reason. It's part of the job. I am more concerned with finding where the hell the parking garage exits. Or rather, how we can get down there. It's looking difficult.
I could probably trot the astral and take a look myself. If
Uh,
well, actually,
um,
now that I think about it, they probably have words down there.
hey, Paul, if I might interject, Cecile at this point, getting a little desperate, wants to call in one of her contacts.
Okay.
She wants to send a message to Krillsec like, "Hey, urgent! I'll pay a premium. I need everything you have on whatever her name is, DeVry.
Allison? Was it?
Alice DeVry?
Alice DeVry, who appears to be, at least from looking at her physically, appears to be your standard sort of upper level corporate suit face type person.
And then Cecile says, uh, works some association with Evo. Need this ASAP. Put it on my tab.
All right. Well, let's get Krillsec on the phone. So you're calling Krillsec, or you texted him?
Texted him. If he doesn't text back, then a call.
Okay. All right. You get a pretty much instantaneous. What does Krillsec do again? He's a data broker.
Data broker, yeah.
He's just. Is he connected to anybody officially, or is he a freelance?
Freelance.
Okay.
The big fish for a freelance.
Yeah, he gets he
He
contacts
also
you
does
right-
like electronics shipments and stuff, I should mention.
And how did you know him?
She's just been a client for a long time. So like a several years long client for like data and electronics shit.
So you've never met him person physically.
No, she only knows them through like some kind of hard to distinguish dwarf matrix icon.
You get a text right back, and it's short, to the point, the way he always is on it. So you guys are headed. You see now that you're headed for a Mitsubishi Night Sky limo um, in Evo livery, and there are 2 additional security personnel standing by the limo.
Good. Can I make a composure test for Cecile?
Absolutely.
I want to see if Cecile's losing it a bit.
Yeah. We could give her a negative too if you wanted to.
She only got a 2, so she's
Yeah.
holding in there.
She's holding in there. She realizes that she's sweating, and she hopes she remembered to put on her antiperspirant this morning.
Oh, she absolutely did.
No doubt about it. No question whatsoever.
She has a routine.
All right. So the people that are standing at the Mitsubishi Night Sky, unlike the 4 security people flanking you at this point, seem to be somewhat more advanced in rank than the 4 covering you. And one of them, the one who looks like an officer, nods at DeVry as you approach. Boxer and Nightingale. You are looking. You have noticed on your comm links that the pin that you got dropped for the target appears to still be in the building, and you've gotten confirmation from Kirsten that indeed there appears to have been another parking garage under that building where the target now is, and apparently or supposedly accompanied by security.
Right.
And Cecile, you get a text back from Krillsec, expletive frag Drek. Stay away from that woman. Bad trouble.
I just sent a text back saying, too late, period.
Oh shit. Is that's all you send back?
All I sent back, yeah.
You get back an emoji. What should the emoji be? It's not a poop emoji. It's more of a it's a house on fire emergent or emoji.
I just find the idea of an extraordinarily powerful man just swapping emojis with some college girl.
It is the
and-
future.
The future is
And then-
emoji.
Oh.
And yeah, he says, "Is there anything?" You get a quick text back. Anything I can do?
Cecilia only has a couple seconds to think right now, I imagine. But my mind is blanking. What does Cecile need? Cecile, look into what was his face, the head of Evo in that area?
Oh, did they give you a name?
They did. The head guy.
Oh, Dean Petrov.
Yes, Dean Petrov. She says, look into Dean Petrov. Something weird is going down.
All right. So as you're approaching the limo, Boxer and Nightingale, what are your actions at this point?
Nightingale is letting Boxer take a lead, but she's already formulating plans in her head while she keeps up with them.
Right.
Yeah.
We need to get down. No. We can't take the elevator. We'll end up behind them. And frankly, I don't think we can afford that. We need to find that entrance somehow. But, God, if you don't know how it is, and you've been here for who knows how long. All right.
Nightingale, you have an inkling that if you entered the Evo building, the Watcher spirits around it would certainly take note of you. That seems to be the parameter of their patrol, is that they're watching the building. So if you enter that building, that's probably going to trip them.
All right. Sorry.
ahead.
I don't think that we can intercept them here. We're gonna need to get back to our vehicles and make sure that we can keep track of her. And we're going to need to intercept them. God, somewhere. I should have brought a bigger gun.
May I, just as a matter of interest, could Cecile sense the people around her, or specifically DeVry?
Yeah.
Okay. Oof. Never mind.
Yeah. No successes.
Ooh, cool.
You make an attempt to sense, and although you don't get any information back, you know from the sensing you get information back from the fact that the that she grins at you, and so does one of the security officers, which you don't need a logic test to know that that means that they sensed your sensing.
Good to know. Cecile smiles politely and gives a look, like half embarrassed look.
Playing it cool all the way to the grave.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Obviously. Listen, if you're gonna die, you need to die politely.
It's the American Canadian way.
With style. DeVry rather politely and with an expression that seems to indicate, you know what this is about. And she holds out her hand as if asking for your bag.
Ah, of course. Cecile hands it over. Let's see, what would she have? Yeah, no, she. Ooh, actually, Erica Elite would, I guess, be in her bag, yeah. She has some gloves, a cred stick,
Mm.
earbuds, and glasses.
She wouldn't say, can I hold on to my comm?
I mean, she knows what'll happen if she says that. She's gotten the picture now.
DeVry hands the bag over to the officer who was at the night sky, and he opens it up and looks inside of it and shakes his head, and then he actually hands it back to you.
Okay.
You have your bag back.
Cecile looks surprised and just like puts it back on awkwardly.
Yeah, at this point, he opens the back door to the limo, and DeVry again motions, that kind of after you motion.
Cecile steps in, and obviously goes to the far end, trying to get as far away from this woman as possible.
And she follows you in. The car is appointed opulently, but in the same sort of clean, minimalist aesthetic as the rest of the Evo building is. The front door is open. The officer gets into the driver's side, and the other somewhat elevated officer who had been with him at the night sky gets into the passenger side, and you see that you are leaving the 4 additional officers behind at this point.
That is good.
Maybe.
Huh.
All
I'm
right.
just saying, 2 is fewer than 6.
Indeed. Alice DeVry starts making some rather inane chit chat with you as well, all the time, all the while maintaining that sort of Cheshire cat grin on her face that, says, I know that you know that I know that you know. Boxer and Nightingale, you see that the pin for the target is now in motion. And you guys already started headed back to the alleyway?
Yeah, they're hurrying back to their vehicles.
All right. So you guys are hurrying back towards the vehicles. Kirsten is behind you, cursing and saying, fragging, stuck up slitch. Why did she have to be so stubborn?
While they're walking in pretty much a straight line on the campus, Nightingale is going to attempt to summon a spirit.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, let me take a look at my skills to make sure. So first I determine the spirit's type, its force, right? And that'll be a guardian spirit. What is this? Let's say a force of 3 with the optional power of psychokinesis. And that I'll have to beat its force with a conjuring check, right? Hello?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, I thought my audio died.
We're just being very studious.
Very studious. Thank you.
I'm looking to see how many people can fit on a Yamaha Growler.
Why can't I find conjuring? It's not doesn't look to be in the button.
Summoning.
Summoning. Yeah.
Oh.
188.
Actually,
Okay. So I have 7 die for that. Yeah, a spirit. Okay. And in excess of its force, that's the number of services it owes me to a minimum of 1.
and while she's doing this, while they're going there, I would like Boxer to fiddle with her comlink and get her bike to come to her as a pilot program.
Don't forget to roll for the spirit as well.
It resists with a 3d6, right? Because its force is 3.
Mhm.
It did not succeed at all. So it only owes me 1 service. I'm
And
going
what
to
kind of
ask
spirit
it.
was it?
It's a guardian spirit.
Okay.
I can give you the little thing. But I'm going to tell it that there is a woman, uh, and that she's a magician. She's young, human. She's currently with a lot of other people, bad, hard-hearted people. I want you to go and make sure and guard her from what harm you can. That is to say, I want it to use the guard power on her, which I believe it can do from the astral.
What do your watcher spirits look like again?
It's not a watcher spirit, it's a guardian spirit.
Guardian spirit, sorry.
They resemble an obviously magical, and obviously not living pony, usually with some kind of armor or weaponry consistent, well, a mystical kind of dark version of the armor that a guard's pony would wear.
Okay. The
Point of order quickly. Don't forget to take drain.
Oh yes.
You're trying to get rid of 6 drain.
oof, yeah.
1, 2,
Twice
3.
the hits generated on the opposed summoning test, actually. So,
Because
did they
it
get
got
any?
none. It
So-
didn't get any.
I guess no drain.
Okay then.
No drain in
Congratulations.
one service.
Yeah, but only 1 service. Yeah, but that's what I would tell it to do, is to go and use its guard power on the woman that I specified, who's in the company of bad, hard-hearted people. I'd give them like a vague direction, maybe awkwardly check my comlink.
Yeah, because you know the direction that it's in.
Tell them that they're underground, that they should avoid going into the actual building. There's spirits there that would not take kindly to them, and
It's sort of the guardian spirit sort of quizzically cocks his head at you when you say, when you describe this, guard this person, but don't go into the building where she is.
they're going to move, like a cart pulled by pull stallions, but it's not a pulled by pulled stallions. It moves on its own. I can't explain. Go.
It somewhat hesitantly trots off in the direction of the Evo building.
Thank you, she says astrally, and at that point she drops her astral perception and catches back up with the group.
Yeah, I take it you guys are sort of hustling at this point, right? So you're crossing the street, running into the alleyway where your vehicles are. Actually, no, your bike pulled up already in front of you, Boxer.
Alright. I don't think I can fit both of you on here.
Wouldn't it be a
Yeah.
better idea to take the van?
You know the chief advantage of a motorcycle? It skips traffic.
The motorcycle is going to be faster and it's going to have better handling. The van's going to have, better armor.
We're going to need that van to pick her up once we retrieve her. But
Do I
we
go
need to catch
steal
her
it away?
first.
Or what am I doing? What do I do?
Can she looks to to Kristen? Can you drive? Or can you at least sit behind the wheel?
I can. How about if I go with you and Nightingale? You're still invisible, right?
If they're actually behind the shop now, she would have dropped it.
Unless you can stop a moving vehicle with your mind, I do believe I will need. Uh, Night- would she be going by Nightingale?
Yes,
Yeah.
Nightingale.
Nightingale, I don't suppose you have anything heavy that could stop, say, an armored car?
Well, how much do cars typically weigh?
Several thousand pounds.
Okay, hold on. Let's do the math,
Like
kids.
just a large sedan is going to weigh 5 or 6,000 pounds. So, 3,000 kilograms.
Ooh. I will be honest. Car is a little bit above my pay grade. They weigh a little bit too much for me.
Alright, that's fine. You get your van, you follow behind, keep track of her on your comm, and well, we're just going to have to follow that car as unobtrusively as we can manage. And once they stop, we're gonna have to be quick.
Okay. All right. I can do that. Um, and she immediately goes back to her car. Pulls the door open with her magic and clambers on in. She is going to cast Analyze Device on the actual like steering wheel and other controls of the vehicle. I would have to succeed against its object resistance. What would you say the object resistance would be for it, Paul?
For analyzing the vehicle.
Yeah, just like how to drive, basically.
But don't you know how to drive?
She knows how to drive enough to get from point A to point B without stress or any exceptional circumstances.
I gotcha. Okay. So she's already got some familiarity. So, threshold of 3, maybe.
Okay, we'll go with a threshold of 3, which I'll go ahead and do the spell casting test. I'm going to say I'll cast it at a force of 6. So that would be first the spell casting test, which
It's sort of
is
an odd application of that. I'm not sure to what extent, analyze device is going to give you the ability to drive better.
it. When using a device or piece of equipment, it gives you bonus dice equal to the excess hits that you score on the test.
Oh, yeah, you need to overcome the object resistance.
hmm So 3 minus whatever hits I get on the spellcasting test, I will get to Pilot Groundcraft, which I have 0 in because defaulting.
I gotcha.
Oh wait, no, I only have 1 because we're not dealing with the encumbrance. Okay. Anyway,
We'll go with it right now.
2,
I think
3, 4. That's only 1 excess hit. Okay. And I resist the drain.
technically analyze device or device in those terms is not necessarily the whole vehicle, but I think it's good enough for now.
Well, the steering wheel. There you go. How to use the steering wheel. Is that a reasonable device?
Sure.
Okay. Um. So I only have 1 excess hit, so that means I'll be rolling 2 die to drive.
Reaction?
If it's equal to my reaction, that would mean
No. Driving is driving plus reaction. Driving still plus reaction.
Okay.
you're
So yeah, because I'm defaulting, it's 1 now 2 dice because of analyze device. Anyway, there you go.
Hmm.
And she's going to take after the bike whenever it starts moving.
okay. So Boxer, you have the pin up in AR, so you can follow the location of the target,
Yeah.
and you see that you're going to have to basically head down the street, take a right to intercept them as they're coming off of campus.
Mm. She's actually not planning on intercepting them. She's just gonna trail them until like they get out, because like she's not getting through that car. It's armored. She knows.
What is the power of a guardian spirit?
So the guard power, which I cannot find it in a 4E book, but I presume it is roughly the same between the two editions. It means that she will be protected from accidents, like say drowning or having a heart attack or something along those lines. And she can also not glitch. However, if it stops a glitch of any kind, that counts as a service, and it would thus be done.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not finding guard either.
So basically, it keeps her from coming to harm that's not directly the intention of someone. And it also keeps her from messing up really badly whenever she attempts to do something.
So like a good luck charm.
Pretty much. I suppose if the vehicle were to crash without the intention of hurting her, she'd get out mostly unscathed also.
Fortunate that we can. No.
Nightingale wouldn't go for that.
All right. So you see the motorcycle with Boxer and Kirsten take off, and you pull out of the alleyway, following them with actually a little more skill than you expected. Boxer, as you cruise down the main road, avoiding traffic and pedestrians, and then turn a right, you see the main exit for the campus, and there's a Mitsubishi Night Sky in Evo's sort of clean white livery cruising out, and it coincides with the pin on your heads-up display.
Couldn't be more obvious. Alright. Settle in for the long ride, girl. And hold on. I don't know when we'll be accelerating.
Cecile,
Mhm.
are you going to take any actions as the limo is leaving the campus?
What's Cecile gonna do?
I don't know.
Only something stupid. It's only
Jump
action
out
she
the
has.
skylight. Ask for a drink.
I would. You know what Cecile is? Cecile's gonna be like, excuse me, do you have some like mineral water or chai tea in here?
Mineral water. Oh.
Oh, excellent choice. Alice opens up a bar area and pulls out 2 bottles of water out and looks at you. Would you like it in a glass or from the bottle?
Glass, please.
She pulls out 2 beautiful crystal glasses and fills them with water and hands one of them to you and takes a sip. And then she says, "So, Cecile, I assume that at this point you know that our interests in you are not necessarily for your skills in the lab."
Yeah, that was pretty obvious when you took me to see the dean.
Ah, yes. You've been playing it very well. I must admit, I've been impressed.
Well, one mustn't play their hand too soon.
No, that's true. If you're going to go out with style, if you're going to go out, you might as well go out with style, right? She
So,
gives you sort of a look as like one style aficionado to another.
so what does bring you here, Mr. Rye?
Um, I get called in for special duties. I take care of problems for Evo, and unfortunately, Cecile, it seems that you have made a problem of yourself.
Ah,
And before you ask, I'm not privy to that information. However, I can tell you that the habit that you have made of accessing secure systems and networks was probably not the healthiest choice. You should have resisted that impulse. She looks almost regretful for what it's worth.
I can't say I recall doing any such things recently. Are you sure they're as secure as you were saying they were?
She grins. She chuckles a little. Well, matrix security isn't really my purview. I'm more of a, shall we say, hands on type.
Of course. To be fair, you've done your job excellently.
Yes, well, when the company's invested as much in one as Evo has in me, one would expect that. Um, so, Boxer, what is your intent at this point?
She's shadowing the car.
Okay.
From a good distance because she has the benefit of a tracker, so she doesn't like need to maintain visual all the time. Subtlety is the name of the game.
Cecile, you get something pops up in your AR, and it's from Kirsten, and she says, "We're following you."
Well, I have to ask, like, so the doors I assume are locked. Like, Cecile couldn't just open the door, could she?
Probably not. Probably not.
Okay.
And you'd need. I mean, if you tried to open the door, we would roll initiative because you'd have to get past DeVry.
Right.
And at this point, she's not made any overt move against you. Obviously, she feels exceedingly secure in the situation.
See, the problem is I can't hack yet. Cecile doesn't actually have any hacking programs.
That is that's rather unfortunate.
Yeah, let me do some looking while you set the scene, Paul.
All right, so you guys are moving the Mitsubishi Night Sky is moving smartly through downtown Seattle. Several cars behind, followed by Boxer and Kirsten on the motorcycle, and then trailing behind them is Nightingale in the van. It looks, Boxer, as though the vehicle is headed in the direction of the harbor. You would say you probably have about another 30 minutes if they keep going at this rate before they enter um, the secure harbor facilities where you'd have to get through a checkpoint.
Mm.
You know this from experience. That's not anything.
All right. So, from what I understand, this would be a shipping harbor, correct?
Yes,
Which
Seattle
means
is a very busy port.
okay. Which means the areas surrounding it may be of a somewhat questionable sort. Hmm. All right. What she's going to try and do is she is going to try and extrapolate from their present path, where they're going, trying to infer that. And she's going to try and get ahead of them.
Okay, which would be a test.
Driving test, I presume.
Yep, pilot ground craft.
Fortunately for me,
Yeah,
she's pretty good at that.
so you have 9 dice, if I'm understanding that.
Yes. Got 2 hits on that.
All right, well, so they're not aware of your presence at this time, so there's no posed test. So basically, you're maneuvering through the traffic and you're starting to gain on them, and you think you found your heads-up display. You think you found a path where you could shortcut through a couple of side roads and end up ahead of them. Are you going to tell Nightingale what you're up to?
Yeah. God, she wouldn't be able to get up ahead though. It's going to be very nice. Well, all right.
So you're headed south at the moment. The harbor is down is south of downtown Seattle towards Tacoma.
Let's go. We have a map, right? Of Auburn.
We have a map of Auburn.
Cool. Where's my Seattle map? Here.
Oh, to the map.
Okay, so to Tacoma.
It doesn't really, for the sake of what we're doing here, it doesn't matter. It's really just more for flavor.
I'm just hoping to find a good place where I can stop a car,
So
possibly
you,
with munitions.
Nightingale, you see the motorcycle peel off, and you get a text in AR from Boxer that she's going to attempt to intercept the car. So Boxer, make another pilot ground craft roll.
Nightingale will not bother with texting back.
This
Should have brought my heavy weapons. I was like, ah, yes, this will be a time for handguns. No.
I mean, listen, non-lethal rounds can't go through cars.
Yeah.
All right. Did you make another? You did make another pilot ground craft. So you got 3 hits. You're moving up now, and the pathway that you had found by maps looks like it's panning out, and you're about to pull out in front of the vehicle, not like right in front of it, but you're about to get into traffic ahead of it.
This is
And
precisely why I have explosives. Unfortunately, I do not have explosives.
So make a quick perception check.
Perception.
They may have. You're not sure how gracefully you got back into traffic there. It may have been a bit obvious. I guess we better roll. Initiative.
Paul, I did want to ask. So we're on the same page. I specifically made it so that Cecile did not have any like hacking type programs because I wanted Cecile to be like, at least mostly law abiding. It's sort of I was imagining her as one of those people that doesn't like break into systems so much as she happens to find those websites that probably shouldn't be on the internet but are.
Yeah.
Maybe an intern forgot to push the "don't publish this" button.
Yeah. Or you may have had access that, they didn't quite think through.
This is true.
But you'll find out eventually where the issue came in because it's connected to chapter 1 story.
All right. I was just making sure we're on the same page. I didn't want it to be like I wanted to make sure you didn't think Cecile was one of those like super duper hackers that hacks to get information. No, she's just a snoop.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, like you said, you've been doing some research. Your hobby is writing mystery fiction,
Correct.
and you've been doing some research on that, and you've been using your Evo terminal, and
Yeah,
I don't know. You may have inadvertently found some things that looked like fodder for your mystery writing that were actually real and sensitive. They were old files, so you figured, well, this is just archival material. Nobody's going to care.
Public domain.
Yeah. And on the internet, once it's more than a couple of hours old, it can't be that secret.
This thing is 5 months old. Who's even going to notice?
Yeah. Yep. So that sort of was my that's not trying to give away too much, but that's sort of how I had rationalized where she was.
Don't worry about it. I was just making sure we were on the same page.
Is the campaign just going to be her writing her book about us? Because, like, for one thing, that'd be like cool, but also,
that would be cool.
Oh God, oh no, publicity.
That would be cool. Yeah, I was actually sort of glad that
we could do little excerpts of that, of her like fucking chewing bubble gum and like bitching about us, and like while she's like scripting it out, like the book, like making arcs and stuff, and she's like, and the fucking pony did whatever.
she's
that goddamn cat
about it. Is the fact that she's finally caught up with some real Shadowrunners doing real mystery type stuff, and it's not quite the way she had anticipated it being in real life.
She was hoping it was cleaner.
Much cleaner.
Dirty, they're freaks, and they're annoying.
And they don't make nearly enough money.
Like the shit
but
I
under her leadership, she thinks she can make them profitable.
Under her leadership, huh? Boxer has issues.
On whatever is the Chan board of the 2080s. She's probably like read the stories about Shadowrunners, and they always like bring in big money, more money than any wage slave ever could dream to get.
And Kirsten obviously has secrets.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking that Cecile knew a little bit about what Kirsten does.
She's a sex worker, isn't she?
What?
A sex worker.
Kirsten?
That's what I got away. That's what I took away whenever she said that she had other jobs and the people.
No, I'm pretty sure it's like information trade stuff.
That's
I
what I.
guess you'll both have to just find out when Paul reveals it.
Oh my god.
I think I'm legally banned from revealing it, though.
Legally.
You'll do it through exposition eventually, Paul. Exposition
Oh,
betrays
that's
all
just
writers.
confirmation. That's just confirmation.
Confirmation of which, though?
Loose lips sink ships. And Evo's going down. I'm
Damn.
gonna eat their
Profits are going
shins.
up.
Don't eat my shins, young lady.
Grrr.
No, stop. Heal. God, what do you say to ponies when they're trying to eat your shins?
Down. Oh, that doesn't work.
Yeah, I was looking over and I was like, God, I really wish Cecile knew how to hack right now.
Yeah, I was wishing that too.
I was like,
Technomancer would be nice right now.
maybe she could do like a spoof, like grab DeVry's credentials and then open the door and like go out and levitate herself away. And then I was like, well, no, wait, I can't do any of that.
That is unfortunate. None of us, well, okay, aside from Liz, none of us brought our full capabilities to bear here.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've all been sort of caught at a slight disadvantage because no chance to plan, no chance for legwork. Um, the situation, while Cecile suspected the situation, it really didn't become apparent until it was mostly too late. By the time she got off the elevator, she was surrounded by security personnel, and it was probably apparent to Cecile that Alice DeVry was not necessarily somebody that you could tangle with physically.
No, yeah. Cecile was very much like, I am walking forward knowing full well that every step I take, I close the noose tighter.
That is.
Scary situation, especially when you don't really know what the hell, why.
Yeah, Cecile's just like, yes, I know everything, and she really doesn't.
Yeah, I wonder if they would eventually potentially. Would Cecile wonder what happened to Dr. L, the old
Is
orc?
Dr. L is Dr. L basically like a custodian, just does like organization and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, his title is lab manager, but he really was more of just a custodian, making sure that everybody in the lab had what they needed, that the place was cleaned up. He also knew his way around the university system, so he was sort of, in some ways, a sort of a mentor, able to help people out. He knew the corporate politics of the university and stuff like that.
Cecile definitely isn't worried right now.
Not about him, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's a bit busy.
Yeah, there are more pressing matters at hand right now. She probably just hopes that terminated means fired and not fired from a cannon.
I don't think that's even on Cecile's mind right now. She's like, well, I hope this is
escalated
a good
quickly.
glass of water.
I hope it was worth it. I think it
It is
was.
an excellent glass of water. Clean,
Terminate.
pure, imported from the Swiss Alps not more than 24 hours
Mineralized.
ago.
All the good minerals.
All right, I'll be ready. I'll be ready to pick it up again next Friday if you guys are too.
Hell
All
yeah.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah.
But now
Playing in the mud.
I'm turning into a pumpkin.
Go to bed, fucking manoid.
Damn. But yeah, go to bed, dude.
Yes,
Sleep.
Good night, guys.
This was nice. Okay, one flip back to bed.
Go to bed. Sleep. I don't know how robots work. Please?
All right, friends. This makeshift team of runners seems to be closing in on the girl Cecile's location. Are they going to be able to rescue her? Does she even need rescuing? Let's find out in the next episode. Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe or let us know that you enjoyed it or any of your other thoughts. We look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. The Tops Company, Inc. has sole ownership of the names, logo, artwork, marks, photographs, sounds, audio, video, and/or any proprietary material used in connection with the game Shadowrun. The Topps Company Inc. has granted permission to the Hard Knocks Sorority podcast to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and/or any proprietary materials for promotional and informational purposes on its website, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with the Hard Knocks Sorority podcast in any official capacity whatsoever. The music for the Hard Knocks Sorority podcast was written and performed by Trace Mineral. The Hard Knocks Sorority podcast is licensed under a Creative Commons License 4.0, meaning you are welcome to use the material as long as you give us credit.